Our next guest is something of a movie legend.
Yeah.
You're very excited, aren't you?
I am
Award-winning
indeed.
director and producer Baz Luhrmann is responsible for a string of classics from Romeo and Juliet, Strictly Ballroom, The Great Gatsby, and, of course, bringing Moulin Rouge recently to the West End as well.
Yeah, anyone who knows me, you know I love my films. Anyway, tonight a special event is happening at the Piccadilly Theatre in London, home of the show, to raise money for the Teenage Cancer Trust and celebrate the release of Luhrmann's latest movie, Elvis.
Well, earlier on, we had the pleasure of speaking to the man himself. That's Baz Luhrmann, by the way, not Elvis. And we started by asking him about tonight's show.
What was it?
You know, it's for the Cancer Trust, and that's so important. If you've ever been, I was recently around a young person who was afflicted with this terrible malady, and you know, it touches you in ways you can't imagine that you can be touched. But to think that the show Moulin Rouge, which is really like started as a film, but now it's all over the world, and the London production, I mean, West End has always been such a dream place for me. So the idea that we're bringing those two things together, a sort of spectacular Moulin Rouge with all the new music in it, and yet at the same time it's doing something really important. I mean, I'm of course just really excited and thrilled to be here, and there's so many cool people coming and all that, but it really is for something that, you know, it's just unbelievably important.
And Baz, Moulin Rouge is something that means an awful lot to an awful lot of people. I wonder, what does it mean to you, and has that changed over the years?
Well, I didn't make this version, but I was involved in it. Alex Timbers, who's this rock star of a young director, and his team, and what was really great was that they took the film, you get all the nourishment and the comfort food of the movie, but they've managed to take this big leap. And while there are all the classics in there, they're using a lot more contemporary music you'd recognise from different periods in your life, and they've sort of revitalised it, and I think that's so important. So I've sort of been Uncle Baz, you know, I've given notes and reflected upon it, but I've had all the joy. I never in my life have been to something that I was connected with. On opening night, I really wasn't worried. I was just sort of having a few gin and tonics with friends going like, oh, marvellous, you know, keep going. Beautiful, like being a grandparent, I imagine, you know? All of the fun of having the kids, but none of the responsibility.
And you're also here celebrating the success of Elvis as well. So I saw it with my teenage daughter. I've got an 18-year-old, and both of us blown away. So actually, she didn't know much about Elvis. I was a fan as a kid, watched the films, but again, you told a story in a really different way, and usually your films are a delight and feast to the eyes, and that it was as well. But it actually was quite emotional just watching his story being told the way you told it. You must be so happy with the outcome and how successful it's been.
Well, that's my favourite thing, actually, and it's happened a lot. My favourite thing is when I get stopped in the street by... I did the other day in just New York, and this 25-year-old kid, sort of cool-looking, he said, oh, you've got great shoes. And he went, oh, you're the Elvis guy. He said, oh, I can't believe it. He said, I took my grandfather, my mother, my sister, and we all saw it 3 times. It's the cross-generational unity of the film that's really thrilling, and the fact that you had that experience, and the fact that that's what Elvis was really about.
Well, Baz, I couldn't have you on 5 News and not talk to you about Strictly Ballroom. So
She's talked about it all day, Baz.
I need to tell you that I would watch this every other week at home, and it blew my mind. But you making the film, which was based on your play, partly based on your life, did you think that it would not just blow up, but be this incredible, epic breakthrough into Hollywood?
I never think like that, Seal. I just go, wow, I think this would be a creative adventure. And once I go, that's why they take so long to make, I just get lost in them, and I don't sleep. I mean, I sleep, but 24/7, 7 days a week. You're like having a baby, you know, there's a bit of a twinkle in the eye, and then there's the act, and then the baby's growing, and then there's birth, which is what I've just gone through with Elvis, and then you try and make sure it's not clubbed to death like a baby seal by commentators, and then grows up, and at some point, just like my 18-year-old, they go off to college, and you meet the boyfriend, they say, I really love la 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 la, and you go like, I don't have the same relationship to it you do, but I completely absorbed in it, so I'm never thinking, is it a good career choice? Of course, I want it to pay its bill. And of course, I would love audiences to come and see it. I mean, the fact that Elvis brought you and your daughter into the same show and you connected over it, that means more to me than anything else, any award, any acknowledgement. You know, that's really what is, that's the fulfilling part.
Baz, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for answering some of those questions, and we hope you have a fantastic night and raise a lot of money for a brilliant cause as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.